Hello and welcome to the AirBnB Superhost podcast. I'm Neil Harvey, your personal superhost. And whether you're new here or a regular listener, thanks for tuning in. This show is all about sharing the highs, the lows, and the lessons from my 10 years of Airbnb hosting. Whether you're a live-in host or an absent host, I'm here to help you stay 5-star related, earn those superhost and guest favorite badges, and maybe even ditch the day job like I did. And of course, I'll be sharing another Superhost secret, my tried and tested takeaway to help you build a smoother, smarter hosting business. And on my success triangle, which consists of you, your property, and Airbnb, this episode is actually all about you. Because in today's episode, I'm going to be talking about why it's important to flip-flop the script and talk about the necessity for you as a host to have a holiday, a break from your hosting, time for some respite, letting go of your Airbnb hosting for a week or two. Now, at the time of this recording, I'm on my own holidays in Ibiza, thanks to the Venga Boys for their wonderful travel advice. So, why is it important for you as a host to have a holiday? You're running a hospitality business inside your own home. And that can be pretty intense sometimes. And it's so easy to get caught up with the constant cleaning, chatting, fixing, and smiling. And without breaks from it, no matter how much you do or you don't love doing it, it's easy to get emotionally and physically drained, which can lead to poor reviews and possibly resentment towards your guests. So, this is my first of 3 reasons why we need a break every now and again that I'm going to be talking about in this episode. Point number 1, we all need a break, whatever we do in life. It's always healthy to step away from it from time to time. Taking a break isn't selfish, it's looking after yourself, and it keeps the whole show sustainable. As humans, we get lost in the machine of our industry, by which I mean it's all too easy to get focused on the trivia and lose perspective, as well as become blind to the obvious sometimes. Now, I confess, I have not been very good at taking regular breaks, and before coming away, I found myself getting fixated on the fact that a couple of my current guests persistently leave breadcrumbs by the toaster every time they make breakfast. It started to drive me nuts. But frankly, what does it matter in the grand scheme of things? It's a 30-second action to clear it up whenever I see it. But it was starting to tempt me to be a bit offish with them about leaving a mess in the kitchen. And that is potentially dangerous behavior on my part, as all I would actually achieve is creating an atmosphere that would not be appropriate. Now, standing here by the pool in Ibiza, I don't give a hoot about the breadcrumbs. And perspective is restored. I think we can all relate to the fact that too much work and not enough play wears down the spirit. So it's important to remove ourselves from our everyday grind. We need to go and become a holiday maker ourselves. I had the privilege to go on an incentive trip in Mauritius a number of years ago, and on a tour of one of the 5-star hotels, I asked the manager, "How do you keep your guests happy?" And I got an answer that I was not expecting, because without hesitation he said, "By keeping my staff happy. When they're happy, they give great service, and when the guests get great service, they're happy too." Well, as the host, you are the staff he is referring to. So in exactly the same way, a happy host creates a happy environment, which leads to happy guests, which of course leads to better customer experience, better reviews, and repeat bookings. So give yourself a break. Go somewhere new that allows you to rest, re-energize, restore, and revitalize your spirit and remain a happy individual. Go somewhere nice so that you can be the recipient of the same experience that you provide for others day in and day out, and enjoy it. The second reason to go on holiday is because you are inherently a guest yourself, and it's a golden opportunity for any Airbnb host to walk in the shoes of your own customers. Use this opportunity as a mirror to reflect on your own offering And by doing so, you can lift loads of ideas, good and see the bad, to improve your own guest journeys. And here are some key touch points and what you can learn at each stage. First off, the booking experience. Well, how easy was it to book your holiday? Was the venue's listing clear, attractive and full of useful information? Were there add-ons or upsells offered? Compared with where you're booking to go on holiday yourself, does your own Airbnb listing answer the questions that you had as a guest when you booked? Second reason to go on holiday as an Airbnb host is for pre-arrival communication. Did you get a clear welcome message? Were directions, check-in times and expectations clearly laid out? And did they reach out with a friendly tone? Or did they feel automated and cold? And the point is, look at the tone and the timing of the messages. What made you feel welcomed or ignored? Could you automate your own comms so that they are timely while still feeling human? Third reason for going on holiday is finding and reaching the property. Experience that. Was the address easy to find? What signage was there, if any, and was there confusion? And if so, why? Did the key system feel seamless or frustrating? And the point is, the friction you experienced is gold for insight. If you got lost or the door code didn't work, ask yourself if any of your own guests might be experiencing the same on arrival at your place. Fourthly, first impressions on entry are so important. What did you first? Smell, temperature, lighting? You know, the first room that we were offered here in Ibiza had a whiff of, well, let's just say the toilet needed to be flushed, although it had been. So, a room change, please. Was it spotless, personalised, or was it soulless? Did you say, oh wow, or, oh? You see, first impressions are emotional. I call it the 10-second rule. We decide if we like the room within 10 seconds, and if we do, we tend to excuse everything, and if we don't, we find everything. So what first impression are you creating the moment your guests arrive? The fifth point, in-room details and amenities. Was everything obvious? How the lights work, where the towels are. You know, in the second room we were offered, the shower temperature controls were reversed, so hot was cold, and vice versa. So the first shower was more of a cold shock instead of a warm rinse that I was expecting. Were you delighted by any surprises, some snacks, a Netflix login, a box of little chocolates? Did anything annoy you? No bottle opener, confusing heating instructions. The so what? Is there anything about your own offering that you're taking for granted that just is not obvious to a new guest? With regards to the taps, the hotel just said, oh yes, the architect got it wrong with the shower controls, as if it was common knowledge. They didn't put up a note anywhere or think to change the indicator colours on the taps. The sixth reason for an Airbnb host to go on holiday is to look at the communication during the stay of the venue you're staying at. Did the venue check in with you to see that everything was okay? Were they easily reachable and responsive if you needed them? Was there any form of guidebook or FAQ leaflet? Just think back to how available and responsive are you as a host? What resources do you provide for information to help your guests? Nowadays, you can even create an AI assistant to answer questions for you. How about that? And the final reason that you should go on holiday as an Airbnb host is, did they make you feel like they couldn't get rid of you fast enough, or did you feel that your business was appreciated? Was there a prompt for a review? You know, it's important to remember how your guests leave will be the lasting impression they will have of your place. So, handle their exit with professionalism and tact. And the final point that I'm going to be talking about when you're a guest on holiday is that it gives you a chance to see how other hosts and customer service providers create that magic holiday feeling. You might think you've nailed the guest experience. And if you've been listening to my previous podcasts, well, let's face it, you're already practically perfect in every way. But, joking apart, stepping into someone else's world, be it a boutique Airbnb, a slick hotel, or even an outdoor adventure somewhere, lets you feel what works and what falls flat. Suddenly, the smallest touches stand out. A welcome note, a turn of phrase, they just use to explain something, or even just decent coffee. You're reminded what it feels like to be hosted. On holiday, you'll often see other hosts doing things that you'd never thought of, or doing familiar things in a completely different way. Maybe they communicate less, but still make you feel incredibly welcome. Maybe they've streamlined check-ins so beautifully, you'll be nicking their process the minute you're home. It's like professional development in swimming trunks. Because let's be honest, we all get a bit set in our ways. And I know that I'm guilty as charged, but being a guest reminds you that there's more than one way to be brilliant. Sometimes someone else's method will challenge your own. That's not a bad thing, it's how you level up. Hosting's not about perfection, it's about evolving, or as the phrase goes, start now, get perfect later. And going on holiday yourself is a sneaky little way to do that deliberately, observant while sipping a cocktail. And the best way to be observant is my Superhost secret for this episode, and that is take a small journal or a notebook and pen and write down 3 great inspirational points, aspects or observations about your holiday experience, and 3 things that you think they could be improved upon. You can use these notes when you get home and apply the logic behind them that made you write them down to your own accommodation to see how you can enhance the experience you offer to others and avoid any potential pain points that you experienced on your own holiday. Now, why should you write them down? Because I can almost guarantee 100% by the end of your holiday, you will have forgotten the points. Collect the evidence before the jugs of beer erase your memory. And here's my limerick rhyme about the Superhost secret. When you're off on a trip in the sun, take a notebook and pen, make it fun. Jot down what delights and what's not quite right, in case beer removes everyone. Now, my notes for this holiday, based on the experience so far, are 1. I've already mentioned that the first room we were offered smelt of sewage. That was not a good start. So it reinforced to me the importance of first impressions. Second point, make repairs to items that are damaged as soon as possible, as the glass top to the dresser in the room here is cracked. It's something really straightforward to rectify, just like the power plug that is half off the wall tucked beneath the sink unit in the bathroom. Neither are deal breakers in any way, but it makes the room feel a bit run down, and it's so unnecessary. My third point, there's a piano in the hotel lounge area that is not locked, and being a keen pianist myself, I love to play whenever I can, but there's no indication of any boundaries about its use. If there was a note saying, please feel free to play this piano between the hours of 9 a.m. and 9 p.m, then I would not feel like a naughty boy sneaking on to play it with the rooms empty. So, what boundaries do I have in place at my offering? What areas are off limits, for example, and how do I let my guests know? So, on to the good things. Firstly, the maid came to clean the room whilst we were in the room, and we asked for another bag of crisps when she was replenishing the minibar. She brought in 2 bags, not just 1. We felt as if we've just been given an unexpected treat. Such a small gesture made a big impact. Secondly, all the staff in the dining room are so smiley and enthusiastic, even the chefs. So when going down to eat, their attitude brushes off on the guests, and the sense of bonhomie is very apparent when talking to random strangers, and I'm convinced it's because of the staff's attitude. And thirdly, everywhere is immaculately clean. I even spotted the gardeners watering the lawn as if they were washing a valuable car. So, hopefully I've convinced you to take a holiday, or several. But there's one burning question to ask around this subject. How do you ensure that while you are on holiday, your accommodation service remains high? And I'll be tackling that in the next episode. But until then, I'll see you by the pool with a margarita. If you know anyone who might be thinking about earning some money through hosting, then please do share this podcast series with them. Follow me on Instagram, etc. at superhostneil, or one word, for more tips, tricks, and a bit of laughter. Until next time, may your rooms be booked, your reviews 5-star, and you've put a date in your diary to go on holiday yourself.